Hello my beauties! On the 4th of July, I went on a little trip on the trains down to LANDAN. I went to LANDAN to visit Bandai Namco and get hands-on with several games and record a few as well. Let's take a look at some, shall we? First up, Ni no Kuni 2 Revenant Kingdom. I am a huge fan of the first Ni no Kuni and I played it to bits on the PS3. The gorgeous Studio Ghibli art style coupled with some really addictive gameplay made for a great game. Initially, I felt a mild shock when sitting down with the second instalment. There doesn't seem to be any familiars. Instead, Higgledies, which look remarkably like little Pikmin. These little fellas give you a buff if you run into them at the right time and hit X. It seems like the combat has been streamlined a little more, giving more of a focus on controlling your character, Evan Pettywhisker, and battling using his abilities. I must say the familiars from the first game had a Pokemon-esque quality about them, and I shall miss that. But at times in the first game, the combat did feel overly convoluted. And within 5 minutes on the new game, I was quite happily smashing a giant dragon in the face with a sword, which made me happy. The two gameplay segments I got to play were battle segments, with a tiny little bit of exploration and a sort of odd World of Final Fantasy chibi world map view that I felt kind of really stuck out like a sore thumb compared to the rest of the art style. If the game has been streamlined down into a less familiar catching and levelling and more story-driven RPG with tighter combat, then I'm open to change. But it does feel like quite an alarming gameplay change, which I feel may comp for some backlash throughout the community that has been built up around the first title. Conclusion for now, love what I played, give me the rest. I did actually record quite a lot of footage, so there will be a second video going up which is purely about Ni no Kuni, which I'll offer some light commentary on, and it will be linked at the end of this video. I did see a presentation on Project Cars, which I must say looks very sexy indeed. Dynamic weather is really cool, and for those of you that love the simulation driving, it's probably the best in its field right now. Project Cars 2 has an even bigger lineup of cars and vehicle brands than the first, including Ferrari and Porsche, two brands that weren't in the first game. I only got to play for a brief time due to wanting to cram everything in, and we also weren't able to capture any footage for ourselves, so what you're seeing is B-roll and trailers. The game did look and run fantastically though, and the controls on the PS4 controller felt quite nice. I only careered off the track maybe 5 or 6 times, which for me was pretty good. Apparently the controls for a controller have been greatly improved since the first game, as that was something that fans apparently who didn't have driving wheels and such had complained about. It felt like a good racing game to me, a much more serious Forza if I had to give a personal comparison. Certainly a game I'd like more time with. I think it could be very fun to play with a group of eggs on Twitch. Ace Combat 7 was the next game I got my hands on. Not a game I'm massively familiar with, but I thought I'd give it a go. Imagine a world where Top Gun was a Japanese anime, and you're halfway to describing Ace Combat. The flight controls and combat felt quite arcadey, but presumably that's the intention. The plane was almost too responsive at times, but I think I just needed to get used to it. I was dispatching enemy fighters left, right and centre with volley after volley of Fox 1, Fox 2. I was weeaboo Tom Cruise, just for a moment. One thing the game does very well is simulate clouds. They do look and feel particularly realistic when you're flying through them, a touch frustrating when you lose a lock on an enemy through the clouds, but that's obviously all part of the gameplay. I attempted to finish my mission, as it was the 4th of July, with a very Independence Day-esque kamikaze attack on the mothership. It had just deployed tens of drone ships, and alas, I must not have hit the right spot, and the mothership swatted me as if I was nothing. I'm not sure if the story is my cup of tea for this one, but the combat was fun and I did enjoy playing it. Now, I really have saved the best till last here. I got hands on with Dragon Ball FighterZ. As you guys have previously seen, me and Tommy are big fans of all things Dragon Ball and have spent quite a lot of time playing Xenoverse and other Dragon Ball beat-em-ups on Twitch. In our youth, we were also huge fans of the 2D beat-em-up series Guilty Gear. Now this game is made by the studio that made Guilty Gear, and it really shows. It's a crazily fluid combat system with jaw-dropping graphics and nostalgia pouring out of every pixel. I have been waiting for this game for over 15 years. Sadly, we weren't allowed to record gameplay direct from the console, but we were allowed to record off-screen. So what you're seeing is exactly that. Me filming some blokes having a tumultuous battle. The FPS looks solid, the characters and moves are extremely responsive, and this could be a highly competitive game when it's released. The characters we had to play with were Goku, Vegeta, Gohan, Frieza, Cell and Boo, but it has also been revealed that Trunks will be joining the lineup of characters. Arc System Works, the developers, have a very long and solid history of making great beat-em-ups, and now we've got the perfect franchise of characters and lore to layer over the top of the gameplay. In terms of character rosters, I'm expecting 12 to 20 characters, going off of the Guilty Gear and BlazBlue franchises. Obviously, in this world of DLC expansion characters, who knows how many characters we could see in the future. And obviously, let's not forget that Dragon Ball has an insane amount of heroes and villains to choose from. Essentially, this is the best game, so let's all just hibernate now and wait till it comes out in early 2018. And with that, this is the end of the video. Thank you very much to Bandai Namco for their invite to their offices and to play all these lovely games. If you really liked Ni no Kuni and you'd like to see some more, then there's a video just linked on screen now. And if you did enjoy this video and had any thoughts, love or hate about the games that you saw, then please do drop a like and leave me a comment. Until next time, thanks for watching, goodbye!